Good Monday morning, South Carolina weather watchers. I'm your meteorologist, Jesse Peterson, and let's go on and talk about the weather for your Monday. Starting off, what is going on here for our Monday morning? Well, as you wake up, looks like the majority of us looking dry. Over here at 9:36 in the morning, so we're looking nice and dry, not really receiving too much in terms of rainfall activity. Now, if we look and see what's going on throughout the entire U.S., we do have some flooding going on in the Northeast with even some more rainfall up there in Maine, Vermont, New York, even down New York City. I believe there is a flash flood warning, including New York City, or at least somewhere close to. Yeah, New York City is under a flash flood warning right now. And then in terms of over here to the west in North Dakota, we have some rainfall over there, Minnesota, Montana, and then even in Georgia and Florida, you're seeing some rainfall over in these areas. Now, what's going on in terms of cloud cover? Well, most of us cover with clouds, no matter if you're from the upstate or down to the low country in the Grand Strand. It looks like that you are covered with cloud cover. And if we're going to take a look at that cloud cover for the future, push this over into tonight, even going over into this evening here. Looks like that the majority of us are going to continue to stay covered with clouds until we get more and more into the night. That it looks like cloud cover may try to push its way east, at least that main batch, and some kind of like stays over in like the western parts of the state. But for the most part, it looks like that cloud cover is going to stay with us all the way through. Now, what about in terms of current temperatures? We're talking about 79 in Somerville, 80 Charleston, even Beaufort, 77 in Aiken and Orangeburg, as well as 79 in Georgetown, 79 Myrtle Beach and Conway, 78 inside of Sumter, 77 in Columbia, and 78 in Lawrence, 77 Greenville, Spartanburg, 77 in Gaffney, York, 78 in Rock Hill. Now, what about for our air quality? Well, we are looking pretty good, but there are, a couple of areas that are kind of receiving some moderate areas for air quality, like over there near Augusta, near Greenwood, near Columbia. Those areas have a moderate risk of air quality as we move over into today. So if you are a part of that yellow area, just make sure that you are aware of all of that stuff that's going on in terms of air quality over in your location. Now, in terms of high temperatures, we're talking about 85 in Greenville, 86 Spartanburg, even 88 in Columbia, 86 in Winsboro, 87 in Camden, as well as 88 in Sumter, Bonwell, 89 in Aiken and Orangeburg, 86 in Moncks Corner, and 85 in Charleston, 86 Georgetown, 84 Myrtle Beach, and 85 in Hilton Head Island. Now, what about for our heat index values? Heat index values will be all the way up to around the upper 90s or so. Some of us may get into like the lower hundreds potentially, like down there near Hilton Head Island, but for the most part, it looks like upper 90s is what we're looking at right now. And then if we take a look at those winds are going to be around 5 to 10 miles per hour inland, and then near the coastal areas around 10 to 15. Wind gusts are going to be from around 10 to around 20 miles per hour. And then in terms of rainfall, we're talking about maybe a hundredth of an inch to a tenth of an inch in areas like Columbia, Aiken, Camden, Cheraw, tenth of an inch to a quarter of an inch in areas like Sumter, Florence, Dillon, and then quarter of an inch to a half an inch in Barnwell, Orangeburg, Walterboro, Moncks Corner, half an inch to an inch for a lot of the coastal areas, Charleston, Georgetown, Myrtle Beach. Now, what about for the SPC outlook? Thunderstorm activity is possible for the entire state of South Carolina today, so please make sure that that is something that you're keeping an eye on as you move throughout the day, especially during the afternoon. And then as we move into excessive rainfall, we also do have a risk of excessive rainfall as we move over into today, especially over there for Charleston County going into coastal Georgetown and Horry counties, just because we're looking at that slight risk of excessive rainfall. That is a 15% risk of flash flooding in those yellow areas. And if you're in the green, that's a 5% risk of flash flooding for today. So if you're in the yellow, scattered flash flooding is possible. If you're in the green, isolated flash flooding is possible. Now for the crazy score, we're at a 16 right now. Right now, rip current statement right now, and then also um, the conditions are kind of up right now. So the alerts and then the conditions right now kind of moving in kind of pushes that score up for the mild category. So that's pretty much all I wanted to say there for the crazy score. And then let's go and take a look now at the models. Time is at the bottom part of your screen. Make sure that you go in and pay attention to that. And as we go on and push this forward, you move over into like 11 a.m. to 12 o'clock p.m. And now we're starting to see some more rainfall activity continue its way east, over in the Petey areas, the Grand Strand, the Low Country, the Midlands. I mean, almost all of these areas are receiving rainfall. But as you push it forward, it kind of moves up towards the north and east by around 2 p.m., going all the way up to around 3, 4, 5 p.m. or so. And look how much rainfall we have kind of trailing throughout the state by around 5 p.m. That continues its way up towards the north and east, and we see another round potentially after that going on later on to the night, around 9, 10, 11 p.m., moving to the low country, Grand Strand areas there. So, overall, a good day for rainfall for a lot of areas, like in the low country and the Grand Strand areas, the PD, Midlands. Upstate, not really looking at a whole lot, especially up there, like in the foothills, but you never know what could potentially change up there. But a good day of rainfall nonetheless for a good amount of us. And that's pretty much all in terms of the models here. I do want to check one more thing out real quick and just showing how much rainfall could potentially fall over the next 24 hours. And this is why we have a risk of, flash flooding. I mean, you're taking a look as we move all the way through, and I'm going to move this into tomorrow morning because that's technically where it goes to. Some areas, 2 to 3 inches of rainfall, like areas like Georgetown County, I'm seeing this. Berkeley County areas getting around 2 to 3 inches of rainfall. Again, over here in Colleton County, around 2 inches. Over there in Allendale, around 2 inches or so. And so a lot of us kind of staying in that risk of, flash flooding for the pretty much moving on into tomorrow morning. Yep, so continuing all the way through into tomorrow morning is how long some of us could see some flash flooding threats. And so that's the reason why we have the risk going into tomorrow morning as well. And that's pretty much all they have to say there. Rainfall's there. The support is there. Let's just see if it executes out. But that's all. Make sure that you tune in tonight, not 8 o'clock p.m. for your Monday evening forecast update. I'll be back then. Hit those 2 buttons before you leave if you are new. We're at 818 subscribers, trying to get to that main goal of 900. Let's go in and get there.